Hey guys, Chad here with my 2018 Camaro SS 1LE. I like to speak about a issue I had with my manual transmission. It's a 6-speed car, which all 1LEs are. Anytime I would be driving it and say I would go in the second gear, either upshifting or downshifting, like from third to second or fourth to second or whatever, second gear always seemed really hard to get in the gear. Like, I would pull it in second, then it seemed like I had to pull it a little bit harder in the second and then let out the clutch. If I didn't pull back real hard and I'd ease out the clutch, the transmission would actually pop out of second back into neutral. So I seen a bunch of forums, I see a bunch of posts, people say, oh, it's normal, their car does it. Definitely when it's cold out, it's harder to shift, and everyone's like, oh, it's just a normal 6th gen Camaro problem. Let me tell you what, it is not normal. I'm a technician for a living. That's not normal. So I took it to a couple dealerships. They did tell me the same thing. Oh, that's just normal. Then finally, I took it to one technician, got in it, drove down the road. He's like, yeah, manual tranny shouldn't do that. So they tore it apart. They found that the gears were all messed up. They were ground up. The synchronizer was messed up. So they ordered all new gears, new synchronizer, new blocking ring. Tried to put the tranny back together. It would not go back together. So the technician at the dealership thought that GM might have sent them the wrong gears. So they called GM. GM sent them another set. Still could not get my transmission back together. So there they tried to install the input and output shafts in the tranny without any gears on them. They would not line up. They could not get the shafts back in the transmission. So they did some inspection and they realized that the actual transmission housing itself was defective. So keep a note, my car has been in the shop for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I'm like getting pissed off, you know, making a car payment on a car that I can't drive because the transmission's fucked up. So finally, GM decides to warrant the transmission and replace it. Well, in doing so, the technician got some info from some of the engineers at General Motors, and he told me that I guess there is a whole bunch of these Camaros that are made, and the casting number that my transmission was, which I did not get the casting number off the tech, they're all designed that way. So they came from Tremec that built the transmission in these manuals, and that they were all a defective housing, and they just forced everything together, which in return is going to destroy your input and output shaft bearings, going to grind up your gears. My car only had at the time around 8,000 miles when this problem started to occur. So I just want to warn any of you guys out there that has an M6 car, 6th gen, if you have hard shifting when it's cold, or you have a problem with it, don't want to go into a gear that you have to pull extra hard, I advise you take it in, stay in the dealer's ear, make them tear that tranny apart, see what the problem is, and if it is a defective housing, have them replace it before your warranty runs out and it's too late. So I just want to touch base. Also, they had my car over 4 weeks before it was all said and done. I like to mention that GM did reimburse me for the time my car being there. They ended up giving me a voucher for $2,000 in parts or accessories. So they did do a decent job at making it right. So if you like this video, please like it, subscribe. I have other videos about my Camaro. Have a great day, guys.